Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar session, 7 Steps to Becoming a Digital Electrician, How to Incorporate a Mobile App into Your Day. My name is Mandy Coker, and I'm the VP of Marketing for Condoit. I'll be your webinar moderator for today. For those of you who may be new to us, this is a webinar series hosted by Condoit, a mobile app purpose-built for electricians. For our presentation today, Ann Randall will quickly walk us through the 7 steps, and then we'll have a brief question and answer session using the Q&A feature. Every registered attendee will receive a copy of today's presentation and a link to the recording. We'll also post today's webinar recording on our website, along with other helpful resources you might want to check out, like our videos and our blogs. Now, let's take a moment to introduce our speaker. Ann Randall is Condoit's VP of Customer Success and has over 20 years of experience in improving the overall experience of a software user. She's responsible for customer support, training, implementation, and project management at Condoit. So she is a wealth of information for how electricians are currently using the mobile app in the field today, and agreed to join us to share some of the tips that she's picked up along the way. Thanks so much for joining us, Ann. At this time, I will turn the presentation over to you.
Thank you, Mandy. Hi, everyone. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day to learn a little bit more about Condoit and how we can digitize your life. Agenda for today should only take a couple of minutes. We want to teach you how you can speed up the site survey and install process, how you can generate a digital single line diagram, and in our world, we call those a SLD, how you can connect equipment in our diagrams, create multiple design options in the SLD, conduct a load analysis, whether you're doing a site walk or a very complex SLD, export ready-to-print drawings, and also auto-create a bill of materials. Pretty much kind of soup to nuts everything you need if you're doing a light assessment, site walk, or if you're doing a full-blown restructure SLD with multiple designs. All right, so who are we? You may never have heard of Condoit before, and yes, we're spelling it that way on purpose, just so you know. Condoit is a mobile app that is designed specifically for you guys. It is for the electrical industry. Our founder and CEO is a master electrician, and he was thinking about the fact that he did not have any cool design tools out in the field, and so that is how we were born. So we are built by electricians who understand you, and we are for you. So how do you become a digital electrician? And don't worry, I actually work with customers every single day. And the first thing that they ask me is, how hard is this to learn? Good news is you're actually going to get a little bit of a training today on top of learning some of the benefits of the mobile app itself. So let's start with step 1. How are you going to speed up the site survey and install process? So remember, in its most basic use case, we are just a digital collection form. We're trying to get information such as notes and photos for the site into your hands and into a reliable, safe database. There's all kinds of different projects that you can use within Condoit. That could be a lighting upgrade assessment, an EV site walk, solar site walk, or just an SLD. The data you're collecting can be collected for an as-built. So maybe you're just trying to create a digital twin of an existing infrastructure, or you're looking for a future design. We are designed to work offline, and that's a really common question that we get. So don't worry if you are in a dirty basement somewhere without Wi-Fi, if you're in a parking deck, our mobile app is designed for you. Basically, the system will connect online once you're in network connectivity, and then all of the data will sync up to our server. So you don't have to do anything. The app on your phone or iPad does all of that for you. All right, so a lot happening here, right here on my screen. So basically, this is just a digital form. This is one of many examples. You just go through, fill out the fields, and a couple of things you can see the demo doing right here is adding photographs either directly from the app or uploading it from the camera reel and taking in notes. Big fan favorite here, whenever you're doing notes, and we call this, our general notes or site narration. You're just talking so you can be the eyes and the ears on the ground. So whatever we can't see through a picture is something that you might want to put in those general notes, but we know texting is not always the most fun thing to do. We're taking a lot of notes on a phone, so voice to text is my favorite. All right. So once you get through the form, the system will then walk you through your next step. So you can save and exit, or you can share all of this data by wrapping it up in a cute little PDF and then sharing that with anyone that you want. Good news is a lot of data here, saves as you go. Multiple people can hop in and then update data whenever it makes sense in your process. And that's really step one. All right, good. So now we have all of this fantastic, data app that we've collected. So now we want to generate a digital single line diagram, or SLD. You might also call it a one line. We won't judge you. Call it whatever you want. All right. So from here, one thing that's really cool is that if you are doing a site walk and you enter equipment into that form, it automatically shows up here inside of the SLD. If you're like a classically trained engineering drawer, you've been using AutoCAD or a system like that for years, you're probably going to want to go just straight in to the builder, click the plus sign, and then add your equipment. The way it is set up is really in 3 different layers. So we have all of the power sources up at the top. You have all of your distribution areas in the middle, and then everything pulling power at the bottom. Big benefit here, we're used to seeing a lot of our users that are drawing this out on big sketches or trying to draw it out on an iPad, and those lines can go all over the place. You've probably seen some pretty creative drawings. But what's nice about Condoit is it will automatically arrange, tighten, and straighten up all of your lines, all of your equipment, so everything flowing upstream and downstream is really obvious for you to see. Big thing here that's really cool that you really can't do on paper is including photographs of all of the equipment that's here on the SLD. So if you tap on a panel that you drew in an SLD, you can pull in a picture from a site walk and have everything right there in one place. Also, your SLD, again, saves as you go, kind of a theme with Condoit. This makes collaboration really easy between the sales reps that might be doing very basic data collection, the electricians that are doing the recommendations, or the engineers that are blessing a brand new design. Okay, so taking a little closer look at the SLD, connecting equipment with digital raceways. So as the users are connecting equipment, the app is going to show those lines, and they'll either appear red or they will appear black. Red means we don't know anything about the conduit inside. Maybe we're not breaking it open, we're just showing a connection. If everything is black with the details and the labels, that means we know exactly what that connection looks like. So very easy. One thing that's great about this is if you have a very large diagram, you can see that red popping up telling you, hey, I really don't know anything about this conduit. Do we need to measure? Are we going to break it up? What material is it? And then you can easily fill out all of that information on the forms. Okay, so we teased you a little bit with multiple designs. So here's how that works. In our design mode, you tell Condoit if you're doing an as-built or if you're doing a future design. So you just switch the modes back and forth. When the design mode is activated, like it is here, the existing infrastructure shows in light gray on the diagrams, kind of fades into the background. And then users can add as many new, pieces of equipment or conduit runs to show that brand new design. And then as you are doing those designs, you can save it and name it. So for example, maybe it's, 2 new EV chargers, new step-down transformer. And then maybe option 2 is 2 new EV chargers with a updated generator. So that way you can have multiple designs, name them the way that you want, and keep them separate. Conducting automated load analysis. So our customers need to know if new equipment will fit the existing infrastructure, or if there's any data that is missing from the as-built diagrams. Now hold on, because customers ask me this a lot. Are we trying to replace what the engineers are doing and the master electricians? Absolutely not. We are just trying to expedite that analysis and expedite that engineering process. So the load analysis is a quick and dirty list. By no means is this going to replace an expert in what you're recommending, but it does give you a cheat sheet. One thing this can also be helpful for are folks that are on the apprentice side, or maybe a sales rep that just want to have some baseline information to look at. But again, we're not trying to replace anyone in the process. We're just trying to make it much, much easier. Also, one thing we see a lot of customers use the load analysis results for is to highlight any equipment information upstream, downstream that is missing. So if you're putting in, 20 pieces of equipment and a million different runs, maybe you forgot to put an amperage or voltage or kVA rating somewhere along the way, this is going to alert you, you need to fill that information in. All right. Export ready to print drawings. Love this. So canned reports is always one of the more popular pieces of technology when you're going from, a manual process to something that's digital. It just typically saves a lot of time. Condoit is designed to share information digitally. We know sometimes you need to print out a report. That's what folks in our industry are used to. So whenever you go to a reporting area inside of Condoit, you can just click export, click it again, and then you pick how you want to send it. So it can be a PDF that you then email or send as a text message to somebody. If you have Slack, you can even send it as a direct message to anybody on your team. All right, so specifically, we just have standard PDFs for things like the site walk. But when we are doing a ready to print drawing here, that is going to show up in the standard 30 by 42 for SLD. So pretty much what you're used to for engineering drawings. Okay, guys. And this is our last item for today, auto creating a bill of materials for BOM. So for a lot of our customers, this is the final step in their proposal process. They have to assemble a BOM to include in their estimates or include in their proposals. The app constructs this list based on the details in your proposed single line diagram. So whatever data you put in here is going to then, spit out what we think that BOM looks like. The export is really easy. You're just going to select the button just like we did for the other exports. Bill of material comes in several different formats depending on what you need. I'm here showing the PDF, but we also have JSON and CSV as well. Little tip here, the BOM is going to be more valuable and also more accurate if you have the opportunity to specify the conduit with all of the details like material and diameter, which you probably already thought about that. Okay, I know that was a lot of information if you have never heard of Condoit or never heard of a digital tool for electricians, but that is okay. While we recorded the webinar today, you can watch it again. And then here's just a quick recap of some of the tips that we gave along the way. So we are basically functioning offline most of the time out in the field. So don't worry about having internet connectivity, except for the time where you just need to log in and then upload that form and get ready to go. And then as soon as your device recognizes a network and connects, all of the data that's stored locally on your device will hit our servers, and then you can share it with everybody. All right. The site walk forms, those can be pretty long. There's a lot of great juicy information in there. A best practice that I will share with you that our customers have figured out is to set up a process to pre-fill that information. So that way the person doing the site walk concentrates on photos for the equipment, site location details, and general notes. Talk to text, absolutely love this. Anytime in the app you see an area to add notes, you can use voice to text or talk to text to expedite the process. All right, remember that you can share data from the site walks or from SLD straight from your device. So a great part of the process as well, if you're on a site walk, is to alert your project manager, your sales manager, whoever's in charge of that project, to take a look at your PFD or your site walk report. And then they can immediately give you feedback. Hey, you need to take another picture of this label. It's fuzzy. Or hey, for the parking lot, we didn't really get a good feel of the north side. Go take a picture there. We save our clients a lot of repeat visits because they're able to chat and see what's happening with the data before they leave the site. And then finally, remember that for a single line diagram, you can swap between as-built for a digital twin and design mode, and you can have more than one future designs if you like.
All right,
Amy, turning it back over to you.
Thanks, Ann. That was great. Thanks for sharing. That's a lot of information to cover in a short amount of time. So really appreciate the time that you put in to get all of that information in one presentation. We have gotten a couple of questions in, and do remember, if you have questions following the webinar, you are encouraged to reach out to us using our contact us button on our website. But we'll go ahead and dive into some of the questions we've already received today. So we get this question quite a bit working with mobile technology. This shouldn't surprise you at all, Anne, but what if I'm in a basement of a building or on a job site that doesn't have a good Wi-Fi connection?
Yeah, nowhere has a good Wi-Fi connection, Mandy. Yeah, no, it's functioning offline. And one thing we didn't really show today, but it's good to know, we do have a little cloud icon that tells you your status. So users will know if they're online or offline, and also if the data has hit our server or not. So we have these cute kind of traffic light, red, yellow, green statuses that will let you know where you are. But again, just log in before you start going on that site walk, and then you're fine to be offline.
All right, great. You mentioned that we could share reports to our clients. Can you talk a little bit more about what kind of reports and how we can share those directly with clients, not just inside the company?
Yes, absolutely. So first thing is you get to control who your users are. You can add as many users to your account as you want. So if you want to have a seat for customers, and that's really important, that's fine. You know, they can have access to your data. What's usually more common, people want to control what that looks like. So I think sharing the PDF exports and, you know, those single line diagram reports are the most common ways to share information. Just straight out of the app, emailing it to them or texting it to them. We also do have the ability to create subcontractors. We didn't talk about that in the agenda today, but you do have an option within certain packages to create subcontractor companies, and then their permissions are limited to only see projects that you've assigned to them. So kind of 3 different ways that you can share data, just depending on what you're comfortable with. And if you're not sure about that, again, you know, you can contact us after the webinar and I can tell you a little bit more about how it might work best with your process.
Great. I am going to be cognizant of time. We promised everyone a quick webinar, so we'll just do one more question today. And it's a question we get often, especially at meetings and trade shows. Can you talk a little bit about Condoit's pricing?
All right, very good. Keep in mind, we do have a free version of the app. So if anyone attending today has not yet downloaded Condoit, please do. Super easy. We'll have information about how you can download that for iOS or Android. You do have a free trial period for 2 weeks. After that expires out, you can pick one of our 3 packages. That is on the website. So we put pricing out there so you can see what it is. The smallest package starts off with 1 user at $59 per month.
Great, thanks. And that is going to wrap up the session for today. I wanted to thank our speaker, Anne. Thanks so much for putting everything together and presenting so much information that was so great. I appreciate that. And thanks to everyone for taking a few minutes out of your day to learn a little bit more about Condoit and how you can become a digital electrician. As a reminder, you will receive a recording and the final presentation slides as a follow-up. So all of those links that you just saw, they're all completely clickable inside of the PowerPoint. So you'll be able to take a look at that and reach those links on our website, see those valuable tools like ebooks and infographics and all kinds of other things we keep on our website. We appreciate your time and we are wishing you a productive rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.